that.
Or ask for a phone number.
That's a church-loving man. So, you know, he's a real good Christian. So the thing is that, oh yeah. Anyway, so the thing is that I wanted to show all of that. I wanted to show my career path. I wanted to show these general managers and program directors who all knock our dreams.
Right.
I mean, I know you know as someone in broadcasting, whenever you have a good idea to do something and you go to your boss and you say, hey, I'm going to do this, there's always some guy who's going to step on you or tell you you're horrible on the air.
We've all had a pig vomit.
We've all had a pig vomit.
Yeah.
Pig vomit was I named him Pig Vomit.
Yeah.
And believe me, even calling my boss Pig Vomit on the air had repercussions.
Right.
So it's been a wild career, but I've heard from a lot of broadcasters and people in business who say, you know, I have a pig vomit in my life.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like a Rocky story. We're all in this 12-round fight with our boss.
Let's start bringing some of the gang in. First,
Okay.
can we eavesdrop on how Dr. Ruth is doing with the actual counseling she's providing with both the radio side? Oh, it's going very well.
Let me see that.
Jackie, Gary, and Fred.
Oh,
It's going good.
That's beautiful.
Welcome to our
They're not
version.
kidding around.
Yeah, no kidding. Make sure we get security nearby just in case. And when we come back, we finally talk to the other woman in your life, you call her, Robin Quivers, with Howard Stern when we come back.
All right.
There she is. What's she drinking? Better be strong.
They've eased up on her.
Stern is actually secretly a very nice, gentlemanly guy. Don't let him kid you. It's all an act. Well, a lot of it's an act.
Rise and shine. You're so obnoxious, but employed.
We're back. Howard Stern and the gang from Private Parts and Robin Quivers. How about a hand for Robin, the other woman in Howard's life?
May I compliment Robin on having the #1 movie in the country?
Well, thank you, Howard. And let me return the favor. You have the #1 movie as well.
We were on the air this morning.
That sounded so sincere.
It was very hard for me to even talk to Robin this morning on air because she's such a big movie star. It was very difficult.
It's true, and I'm having a little trouble dealing with you. In fact, people are saying, 2 stars. I often have trouble. You know, the egos are so great. How do 2 stars work together?
We figure we're too big now for radio. So
we're too big for each other.
The funny thing is, when I wrote my book, I got really good reviews for the first time in my life. You know, the critics said, hey, it's well written, it's funny. And then when the movie came out, we got all these phenomenal reviews. And it occurred to me, the thing that I get bashed at most is radio. Critics have never once given me a nice review on my radio show, so I'm pretty sure the thing I'm the worst at is radio. That's it.
Don't believe your press.
Yeah, really?
Do you want to do this? We've got a 6,500 square foot environment here. Now, Dr. Ruth is still counseling. Has she moved on to the actors from the movie now? Has she left?
I'm not. We are going to do that as a secret. I want to know.
So how much?
I think Dr. Ruth is going to
I don't think Dr. Ruth is a sex expert, but I don't think Dr. Ruth has had sex in like 20 years.
Because you're going to find out what sex is.
I promise you that Jackie Martling will have sex with Dr. Ruth before the end of this show. He will seduce her, I know it.
He's a sex expert.
Oh, my God.
Now if I was going to get sexual advice, it would be from Jackie Martling.
Do you know he's made love to a one-legged woman? He's amazing. He's incredible.
Cut back to Jackie for a second, if you would, Dana.
Yeah, go ahead.
What? That apparently touched a nerve there, Robin, whatever.
I don't know, Dr. Ruth, I'm running. Oh, there you go. Oh, there's a shot.
Oh, man, that's our Store 24 cam. All right. Now, are you happy? All right, let's get the focus back on Robin Quivers here, the other woman. Are you happy with this environment for your interview?
Well, we could move if you want. I mean, we don't live here, so we don't know what's here.
We're in commercial, and of course you said, well, Robin, do you want to do the interview here?
Right.
Now, I'm listening to this, and Robin said, okay, well, what do you suggest? And you said the library. Maybe that would be a more interesting place. And I'm saying, oh, my God, I am so tired. I hope we don't have to move out of this couch.
There are chairs in the library, Howard.
But, I mean, just
it wouldn't kill you to move right down the hall.
The thought of getting up out of this couch and moving to a library.
You're that comfortable?
I mean, I'm just so exhausted. I mean, but if you guys want to move, I will move with you.
All right. I thought we had the Il Postino moment on our show.
Well,
this could be it.
I often said during the making of the movie that, like that guy in Il Postino, I will drop dead during this movie because I was not only doing my morning radio show, then we would go out.
You know, the guy did have a heart condition, Howard. What is your excuse?
I'm sure that I have a heart condition. Look at me. You ever see any old people who are this tall? No. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. So I'm pretty sure I will end up like that guy. I'll have the #1 box office hit, and I'll be in the grave somewhere, never to enjoy it. Wonderful.
Why don't we're going to give you a shot at picking a room here. A little music, Rob, if we could.
This is like pin the tail on the duck.
And why don't we, while we're moving around here, show a little bit of the clip. Now, this is, I believe, the clip that shows that Robin and Howard have not always been so close, have not always been so tight. There was a bitter falling out period when Robin was fired from a WNBC, and you accused Howard of not backing
Well, it seemed that way to me at the time.
Yeah, because he wasn't marching out with you. So let's go to the videotape, and we'll wander around here. Get Howard on the couch.
Give me a couple of days. I know I can get you back on the air. I know it.
Forget it.
They're trying to break us apart. They're trying to beat us.
That's the whole point. You and Fred should quit and we should go somewhere else.
Quit. If I quit, they win. Don't you see? I don't want them to win. I can't quit.
You're not going to quit?
No.
You're going to let them throw me out like garbage?
No, I want to beat these guys. I want to stomp them into the ground. The only way to do that is to stay on the air. I got to stay on the air, Robin.
You're pathetic.
I'm not pathetic. Just give me a couple of days to make them understand. I can convince these guys to bring you back. I know I can do that.
They stopped dead. We wouldn't.
Yeah, you got to know how big our.
What a compelling movie.
You got to know how big our ego is. We're supposed to move to another room, and then there's this little TV set where you can watch the monitor. And of course, Robin and I stopped dead in our tracks and go, we can't miss our own clip.
We're on TV. We couldn't leave.
We need to see our own clip.
They would ask us to leave now.
We've only seen the movie. How many times do you figure we've seen this movie?
Well, you've seen it. You said about 30 times.
Let's
I've
go.
only seen it about 7
No,
times.
No, let's sit down. Let's go sit here. The hell with it. It was a bad idea.
Thank God. This is nice. In case there's another clip, I don't want to miss it.
Do you know, somebody told me the other day that we, number one, as a comedy team, we have beaten the longevity of Martin and Lewis.
Right.
And we're coming up on the longevity of Abbott and Costello.
But will we ever beat the Three Stooges? Those guys went a little too long.
Yeah.
Mo was 174 years old, and he was still making the Three Stooges go to Mars. And, you know, there's something not funny about a 900-year-old man getting smacked around in the face.
Well, can you do this? Yeah, I was actually thinking this morning. Can you do this when you're 55 years old, going to K-Rock in the morning?
We think we're like Mo. We'll never know that we're too old.
No, because I did ask Howard once. One day we had just gone through a whole sequence of farting on the air, and they were all laughing hysterically. I never thought it was funny, but they
It's
just
a guy
love
thing.
it.
It's like
a guy thing.
Yeah,
And so I walked into the studio after this had all gone on, and I said, "Can you still do this at 50?" And he said, "I don't see why not."
Yeah.
More often, probably.
Unfortunately, yes.
Amazing.
I'm waiting to mature. You know, someone said to me, well, you know, you have the mentality of a 5-year-old. I said, thank you, because I thought it was about a 3-year-old.
That's exaggerated, yes.
Yeah, well, but I figured that's a good thing, because otherwise the radio show would come to a halt if I actually became intellectual.
Yeah.
Well, it's true, because when we were doing, we've been doing a lot of interviews in advance of the movie.
Please, look at this coffee.
And people say to me, does he still shock you? And I said, yes, what is so shocking now is that he hasn't matured.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've
What's the
been
last
together
thing you did on the air, though, that legitimately shocked you?
Well, he keeps telling, you know, it's embarrassing.
What's embarrassing?
He keeps telling us about his bowel movements now.
Right.
You know, he'll come in and say, you know, I've been eating a lot of bran.
Yeah.
And, you know,
What happened?
I'm having diarrhea.
Yeah.
I'm like, Howard, I don't want to know
We'll be happy
this.
to know we have a bathroom, too.
You do have a bathroom?
Yeah,
I might have to go use it while Robin reveals more embarrassing details of my
Oh,
life.
no, you're embarrassed.
Well, you're on TV now, on a legitimate show. Where's the puppet? Where's the puppet when you need it? Never around when you need a puppet.
While you're watching these fine commercials, we'll probably actually really finally move somewhere else. And Jackie and Gary and Fred and Dr. Ruth will join us in the bedroom as Fox After Breakfast continues.
Hard to believe that those guys are in a #1 movie. Very hard to believe.
It's hard to believe about all of us. Let's get serious.
Stop talking.
Howard Stern is the 90s answer to Joan Crawford.
You wanted to say something to John Tesh? So.
Well, I just said, isn't it interesting now that he is not on Entertainment Tonight anymore? He's gone rock and roll. He has that facial hair.
Thing,
so
yeah.
I think he's supposed to be a reinvented guy because he has facial hair.
He still looks like Frankenstein.
But he has facial hair. Right. No problem.
You watch, when Mary Hart leaves, she'll have facial hair.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be the same.
Anyone who leaves Entertainment Tonight gets facial hair. Very interesting.
Are you ready?
Now
We're
tell me
moving.
what's going to happen next.
We're just going to move. We're going to get up and move.
I have a bad feeling about this next thing.
That's fine.
Can I stay here?
No, come with us.
You don't want to be a part of it.
I don't want to be a part of it. All right,
Howard's finally moving music, Rob.
Excuse me, is there going to be a clip?
No.
'Cause I'm not moving.
No clips. Come on. We're going to, Dr. Ruth has been counseling them.
You better lead the way because we don't know where we're
I hope I
going.
don't fall.
Fred Norris, Gary Delabate, and Jackie the Joke Man Martling
Now,
have
why
been
do we
in
have
here.
to talk to these guys?
Oh, come on, because they're
didn't
part
do
of
that
the gang.
A stage.
Don't wake them. We
I
had
wanna
such
know-
a good talk. Howard, don't wake them.
I want to know who staged this moment. Jackie. I can tell it's a Jackie idea. Hey, you know what? We'll look like we're sleeping. That'll be real funny.
Very exciting.
Such good questions.
It was him.
Well, we'll sit. We'll,
take no
we'll
blame
go
for this.
over here. You guys stay there.
I'm
Dr.
not
Ruth.
sitting on any bed. That's
Okay, no,
I
come on over.
tell you something. What
You and I have been there.
Share the chair.
Yeah, Howard, you better sit. Take the glasses off. I love you to see your eyes.
all right.
All right. What I wanted to
Is this a
know.
nightmare or what?
Why you wanted to stay at the
You know, it's an amazing thing, Dr. Ruth. When you make a movie, you
Yes.
suddenly go on every bizarre television show, and this might be the weirdest thing I've done. I'll be honest with you. Get on the bed with them and show us how you have safe sex.
No. I want to tell you something. You know what I'm really happy about you? About your loyalty.
Thank you.
That these three guys who
Yeah,
have
who else
been
would
with
have
you.
stayed with them?
Yeah.
You're right, Dr.
Dr. Ruth, admit it. You would have dumped these guys. You would have dumped these
I would have
guys.
never done them. I like them. Not only John Lawless, but every time I come on your show, I like you. You know what, Tom? There is something about that. Now, I'm very interested to know, what did your family say when you went from that radio, which they don't have to see? You know, they don't have to hear. When you went into the movies.
Can I go to Fred for this? Because Fred
Yes.
steals every scene.
You think so?
don't mind my
Thanks.
saying.
Oh, not at all. Fred does a great
Fred,
job.
I got to
Thank
tell
you
you.
so much.
No.
Fred does a
What did
great
you like
job.
about the movie? You liked me about
I
the
like
movie?
you in the
Just
movie.
say it
Fred.
again.
Fred,
I like the movie. Just say that again.
You know,
And again and again.
I waited
Say it a
through
lot.
all the Howard scenes to get to you.
Fred,
I'm going to like you a lot.
Fred, answer the Dr. Ruth question.
The doctor, what did my family say? Just have a good time and come back when you want to come back.
That was an incredible...
Which question did you answer?
I have his answer. What?
Now, what did they really say
She's going to
about...
keep trying to get... Dr. Ruth, a good interviewer would say, uh-oh, we're in trouble with this guy, and move on to the next guy.
Come on. Let me try again. Come
As a
on.
doctor.
Right.
His kid one day is going to see that movie.
Gary's kid?
Gary's
That's
kid.
a Fred.
He will never have to hear the radio, because you can always say that wasn't me, that was Howard and Robin, but he will see that movie. Are you worried about that?
No, why should I be worried?
Because the movie is really a nice movie. You know what is nice?
You saw the movie?
I did see the movie, but you know what's nice? That you come out much more humane.
That's right.
You come out like a mensch. You know what that means?
Yes.
Like a human being.
that Italian?
Like a
That's
human...
Italian. Dr. Ruth and I are Italian.
like a human being who has emotions.
Let me,
who has
you know,
Dr.
these
Ruth, can I
guys...
just say something? I think it's great that you're not interviewing Jackie, because no one wants to hear that.
I have to ask.
I'm just enjoying being next to
Are you
her.
having fun, Jack?
She was sitting there the whole time afraid she'd never get to talk, and now she's going like a freight
When does
train.
Dr. Ruth start answering sexual questions? That's what I
She has
want to
never
know.
answered one on the program.
But that movie, I have never answered. Not only that, you always complain that I don't let you talk. Today I let you talk a lot.
Yeah,
Did
well,
see
you were
that?
working with these people.
Right.
Yeah.
But
She
you
said
see,
nothing to us either.
So talk about the movie, Dr. Ruth. You're about to make a point about the movie.
I was making a point that what I do like is that the radio is one thing, and you talk about those things that I don't talk about right now. But in the movie, it shows that you are caring about your kids,
Yes.
that you really have a good relationship with your wife. And I want to tell you something
Sure
else.
you're in the right
about-
movie, Dr. Ruth?
Can I, Dr. Ruth, if I may, there's one, I want to ask you guys. He really revels in getting you upset some mornings. Some mornings you haven't been behind the microphone for more than 2 minutes,
Yes.
and you're yelling at them. You never yell at Rob. You're yelling at them,
What do you mean,
screaming at
some
them.
Some mornings by 6:30. Some mornings by 6:30, he's gotten all three of us.
Yeah.
The other day, he set a record. It was 20 seconds before 6 o'clock, and Gary was up in arms.
Can I
already.
say
It was
something about that, though? I think you see in the movie that when we are at war with management, we are a united
Yes.
team.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
We were probably some of the most picked on people at NBC, and what we try to show in the movie is how we fought back, not with our fists, but with words.
Yes.
Because we're all
Yeah.
cowards.
And Howard's
And that we stuck together.
Right.
And we fought as a group.
Right.
However, when we are just among ourselves, well, once
Howard's been training us.
it's a
He's
free
been
for all.
training
Like
us.
people who duel. In our private time, since we don't have anybody else to fight with, we fight with each other.
Once management got behind us, we had to take
Do we have another clip? We got to have it. John, if you don't
Does this
mind.
mean I have to go back to the other
No,
movie?
you just what? No, we don't have a clip this segment? Fred's got some great clips. We don't have a Fred clip? Oh, we're going to do that in the next segment?
Okay, we'll wait for the next segment so that we see
one of the things that we are going to do, and John, I'll have to ask you, sorry, to move again so we can all see that, because Stuttering John, who really got the short end.
For the next segment so that we
one of the things that we are going to do, and John, I'll have to ask you, sorry, to move again so we can all see that, because Stuttering John, who really got the short end of the stick, don't you think, in the movie? I mean, he really wasn't.
He was barely in it.
Yeah.
Barely in it.
He made the most of his 20 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. So we thought we'd remedy that a bit today by having Stuttering John on location at K-Rock.
It's a bad idea.
And there we see Stuttering
John.
John.
We don't really have time, do we?
No, I don't. Stuttering John, we don't have time right now to actually talk to you, but we'll be coming right. We'll be coming right back. We'll save it for. We're building towards this.
Okay, just have me over the credits like
okay,
Howard did.
Don't worry, you'll get plenty of time. More with Stuttering John from K-Rock in a minute. Now we're going to move from this room into.
That's it for us?
Now it's like a pilgrimage.
So we have time to think about it, Dr. Ruth actually asked the question.
Yeah. We're going to move again, all right?
Yes, we are moving?
Because we've got...
Can I just sit here and you guys move?
One more move. We've got some of the actors in the movie. We got your dad, and Pig Vomit himself, and the lovely Carol Alt, who's been with us.
She does a great job.
All right. We keep moving, and it keeps getting more and more congested and less sort of logical as we continue.
Very confusing.
On Fox After Breakfast. All right, we can move. We can actually go right.
Howard Stern is my friend. I'm a big fan, and have been for many, many years.
He said, well, you know, if we keep adding people as we go through the show, this is really going to unravel. You were right.
I tried, you know, we had a little meeting before the show, and I said, wait a second, you're going to pile everybody in one room and we're all going to talk at once? That's not going to be a good show. He said, no,
it's fine.
Have you tried this before?
Yeah, they've tried this every day. One of the,
you did say that everybody has like a guy like him in their lives.
Well, let's introduce the guy like him.
Well, you know what? The nicest thing about making a movie is that you know, you have all of these characters in your head. I mean, certainly I know my father, this guy Pig Vomit, who was my boss at NBC, was such a nightmare for me that when it came to casting this movie, you had to find people, at least in my mind, who were dead on, or else I couldn't have done this. And
Paul Giamatti.
Pig Vomit, Paul. Thank you so much. No, this is going to come out right. I'll fix it. If I screwed it up so far, I'll fix it. Okay. Paul, you know, one of the hardest parts to cast is Paul Giamatti, because he is the real villain of this movie.
It's hard not to dislike you when because I've had pig vomits in my family. Everybody in radio, yeah.
Every guy who has seen this movie, every woman who works for a living has said to me, you know, I've got a pig vomit. Gee, I hate this guy. And first of all, he's really a great guy. And we had a fun time making the movie, and he's a wonderful actor. And he nails this, and I don't know how this happens. I don't know how somebody who you never met the real Pig Vomit.
No, not at all.
And somehow he just captured his essence.
Because
it was well written. No, it's because it was really well written.
Yeah.
So it was all there, right on the page.
So he projects, really, he can put himself into that role.
Dr. Ruth is explaining
Is this going to be a sexual movie? Oh, we get into sex with you.
I don't understand, Paul. I thought it was perfectly clear.
Dr. Ruth, can you just throw the word penis in every once in a while to keep the ratings up?
All right. Flag on the play. Flag on the play, because we have...
We have a clip.
A clip of Paul in action. We'll introduce everybody else, and we'll thank everybody for being in the Al Rosenberg Memorial section of the couch. But first, let's take a look at Paul in action as Pig Vomit from Private Park.
What a name, what a name.